Good evening, this is K4PEW, net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. I think we still got some audio there. We kill that. Alright, that's better. Should be off by now. This is K4PEW. I'm probably talking over some of that audio feed. We do have audio tonight. Give me a check there, Michael.
I believe you do, Paul.
Ah, great. We did something, or I did something good tonight. Well, very good. Where was I? I need to start all over. Good evening. My name is Paul, K4PEW, net control for the group, for the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. If there's any emergency traffic, please call 911. If you can't do that, call us and we'll do it for you. Just tell us where you are and what the problem is. You can break at any time for an emergency. Information on the net, you can go to YouTube right now and see our surface screen on my radio, as well as you can see me, but I'm not sure you want to do that. You can always put some tape over that part of your screen. It doesn't add any value to it really, other than you get to be amused by what I might say or do or look or how I respond to things. Anyway, it's like a secret camera. I don't pay any attention to it myself. Also, you can go to but that's on YouTube. Just put in my call K4PEW on YouTube, and it'll bring up the feed for that on my channel. You can also go to 146415.net for information on Simplex, as well as going to groups.io. You can see our net schedule there on groups.io. Just put in MJSS in their search block. You can also sign up for the email system. We've got a little 200 or 201 people in there now. It kind of varies a little bit where it's up there at that 200 level. Or you can send me an email at k4pew@arrl.net. Yeah, that's about it. And if you have any questions, I'll boot them to the right person. By the way, that the Mount Juliet site, the MJSS site, is on Groups. Is a great place to ask technical questions or sell equipment. So it's a good source, considering there's 200 people there to answer questions. Let's see. The net normally meets at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night. And it always starts at 146.415 FM Simplex, where we are right now. Purpose of the net is to have fun. Figure out who you can hear, who you can't hear, and how much money you need to borrow, beg, or steal. Well, I mean, borrow or beg. Yeah, that's better. To get a better antenna higher up, and usually it's not the radio, it's the antenna. Higher and better antenna. Even a cheap antenna up high is a good deal. We everyone announce the amateur radio events, and Eddie, I don't think I have any at all other than tomorrow night's 10-meter net, which is a big deal. It's a 7:30 p.m., the only tri-mode 10-meter net that I'm aware of in the whole planet. There may be one, but I don't know where they are. And it does 10 meters on upper sideband, then 10 meters on FM, and then 10 meters on C4 FM. So make sure to be there 7:30 p.m. Sunday nights, and it starts on 28.415 upper sideband. Are there any other announcements? Alrighty. Well, I'm going to start the net. We've got a special announcement that I have for tonight. Let me get to that. And that is, tonight I'm placing a call to Frank, K4ING, at the top of our check-in list. Frank was a son, a husband, a father, fellow ham, and a friend of mine. Calling Frank, K4ING. Calling Frank, K4ING. Calling Frank, K4ING. Calling Frank, K4ING. No response. Silent key. Rest in peace, my friend. So we shall move on. Net number 1094. It was funny. Frank did a lot of listening, very little talking. He checked into our net once in a great while, and he sat in his living room and monitored. He had his own repeater too. He monitored all kinds of stuff. Anyway, we're starting from the south after we go through our other little portion there, but this is net number 1094. We're going to be doing 2 meters and then 144.240 on upper sideband, and then over to 50.135, and then over to 223.415, and that was it. We had a great DMR, D-Star, and C4 FM net with 6 on DMR, 3 on D-Star, I think. I'm not sure because I couldn't hear everybody. and then I couldn't hear the net control. And 11, a big 11 on C4 FM. But anyway, let's see where I was. Oh yeah, first we're going to take people short on time, mobile, or first time checking. Hey, hold on that second station. I heard you in there, Jeff. You're sounding pretty good tonight.
I got no problem with that. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and turn in early. And I got, like I can stay out through the whole entire net. Been up since about 2:30 this morning. It's pretty good on YouTube, that picture you have up there. I like that. It's pretty good. But with that, I'll let you carry on, and I'll try to see you guys tomorrow night. Hopefully we won't have all that severe weather that the meteorologists are wringing their hands over. But why don't you continue on, WI4G.
Very good. I hope we don't have severe weather, but you never know. And I hope they're wrong. They are sometimes wrong, as you know. Anyway, that was Jeff, Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf. He's in Madison. Good signal. Who else? Who's that other party? All right, let's do that again. KQ4. You're up in the north sector there, aren't you? I can't remember your name. What's the finish on that call again? Okay, Mike, can you hear that?
Yeah, just a minute, and I'll tell you who it is. It's the guy from Portland. Golf Papa Sierra Ken.
Very good. I'm sorry about that, Ken. And he's in Portland, I believe, Golf Papa Sierra. I should remember that, but I just couldn't hear the second part of the call. But anyway, Ken, good to have you in there. A little weak on the signal, but everybody heard you but me, apparently, or at least some people did. Appreciate you being there. That was Kilo, Quebec 4, Golf Papa Sierra in Portland. That was Portland, right? Very good. All righty, Ken. Good to have you in there. Who else is short on time, mobile, or first time checking? Hey, hold on there. Man, I haven't heard from you in ages, but I got Wes in there first. But Wes, how you doing?
Doing good. I'm in the Jeep tonight in the driveway. I've got everything unplugged and pulled out. I finished my ground work. So my home QTH station is QRT for right now. But anyway, things are good here in Potsdam. KD4TW.
Yeah, very good. That was Wes, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey Indy, and he is in his vehicle, so some of you won't be able to hear him tonight. Or didn't hear him, I'm sure. But I did hear, Earl, I was wondering about you. Where you been, man?
Well, I've been doing that grizzly bear hibernation thing this time of year as I get into. But right now I'm pacing the floor and trying to catch up with my domestic chores, cleaning out the yard and picking up sticks and all that other stuff that this time of year brings. Other than that, I'm doing fine. How's everything on your side?
Well, it's going pretty good, I think. I'm just getting older. Not wiser, just older.
Well, you know, those two go hand in hand, but sometimes they're overlooked by other individuals that they're gone. I kind of like being silver-haired myself, but I ain't quite silver-haired, but ain't nothing wrong with being mature, I call it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I don't have any choice getting probably, I don't know, 75% silver-haired. I don't have any. It's one of those things you have no choice over unless you decide to dye it, and I'm not sure I'm going to dye my hair. In fact, I'm sure I'm not going to dye my hair.
Well, they got things out there to make it quick to being silver or white or whatever like that. But, anyway, I was just pacing the floor and loading up the dishwasher and this, that, and other that cleaning the house, so to speak. So I'll just let it go at that, being a short time and all. Good to hear you, Paul, and everyone else out there to hear my antenna to their antenna. This is KD4DEZ, Operator Earl, Southeast Wilson County. 7-3, y'all. We'll see you when we can.
Very good. That was Earl, Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. He's over east of the Cedars 11 and Church. Cedars 11 and Park. and he is Stick City, as he likes to call it, in Noreen, as I think it actually is. But he had a good signal tonight. Not a little noisy, but I heard a full copy on it. Who else is east? I know who else is mobile or short on time or first time checking. No more mobile, short on time, or first time checking. All right, then we're going to start from the south. Please come now. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing?
I'm good, sir. And yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to go to bed early tonight. I'm pretty tired. I was only got about 4 hours sleep last night, so I've been dragging butt all day.
Very good. Well, I appreciate you doing that, and I like to check in whenever I can. I don't have nothing to report. Taking care of the dog bite on my hand as best as I still can. Got an osteomyelitis. Everybody wants to know what that is. It's infection of the bone. Don't get it. It'll almost ruin your life.
Man, that was one deep bite, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Man, he left a lasting mark on you, didn't he?
Well, she on her way out, she made sure I remembered her.
Wow. Well, that's not the way you want to remember her, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, she's still here at the house in the urn and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, she's going through an ordeal to get this finger taken care of.
So what did they do to get? Did you have to give you special antibiotics on an IV or something for the bone infection?
Yeah, well, we're supposed to. We're trying not to. That was the next step, but it's a long story. I'll get into it a little bit later on. But yeah, let's just say, well, I'll leave the explanation for later. I won't tie up in that.
All right, very good. Yeah, we'll do a medical net later.
Okay, great.
All right, very good. That might be a really long net with the group we've got, I'll tell you. Anyway, that was Jim. Good signal from I'll think of it again. I guess just had a brain freeze there. He's in. Oh man, forgot the name of it again.
Woodbury.
Woodbury. That's it. How could I forget Woodbury? And it's Woodbury, B-U-R-Y. Woodbury. Okay, that's Jim. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet. Who else is south? Very good. I got Larry in there. A little weak copy, but got it in there, Larry. And also I had very weak copy on you, only briefly on that D-Star net. All right, almost copied none of that, but I'm glad you're in there. And I don't know what the copy total is. Maybe you can tell me later. Or well, I don't know. Tell me on email or something how many check-ins. I don't know how many we had. I think we had 3 between Joel and me. And, well, those are the only 2 I know of, me and Joel. Anybody else copying Larry? Because I didn't copy that.
I did. He said, get on with it, boss.
All right, I'm getting on with it. That was Larry. Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor. He's in Rockville, does the D-Star net at 7:15 p.m. every Saturday night, which we appreciate. We just wish there was more activity there. So if you got a D-Star, I want you to just get on, put the thing set for Simplex and stun, and we'll want you to check in on the D-Star net at 7:15 on 146.460. Who else is south? All righty. I think Tony said he was going to be out of the baseball game tonight, I think. Who else is east?
KM4YRF.
You checked in before?
I thought about it once.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I forget things these days, so you might not have checked in, but you might have checked in all the time, and I forgot.
Well, I tell you, I'm beaming with joy tonight with 11 check-ins for C4FM.
Oh, yeah. Don't let it go to your head, though.
Oh, I won't.
Get all swole up, and you won't be able to wear your hats.
I'm looking for number 12 now.
Yeah, you know, I looked up through some past numbers, and the most we ever had on DMR, I think, was 7.
I think that's what I remember as well.
Yeah, that's why I looked. I didn't go all the way back, but it's about 7. We should have more, but it's not too bad for DMR. I'm telling you, I'm surprised we got that. I was expecting more from D-Star, to tell you the truth. Hello. Who was checking in there? I heard somebody yell.
Richard, KI4SIB and KI4SOR.
Well, you tell Richard he's got a crappy signal.
He's got a crappy signal, Paul said.
Very good, I got it. I was able to copy him okay, in spite of the crappy signal. That's Richard, KI4SIB, and Stephanie, KI4SOR, his bride. And glad to have you in there. Can't wait to see you at the breakfast next week or whenever you can get there. Looking forward to it. And they're in Lebanon. Someplace in Lebanon, I'm not sure where. Who else is east? Okay, there was 2 in there, but Kerry covered everybody up. What's up, Kerry?
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Good to have you on the breakfast this morning.
I'm glad to actually be there for a change.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all, you know, people actually have lives outside of ham radio. You know that.
We do.
Usually.
And I can actually hear Richard too, so.
Oh, good. Was he coming in pretty good? He was weak to me, but I expect that I don't think he's got his final good antenna up.
No, because compared to when his signal used to be, I only had him at about a 9 over.
Oh, wow. Well, he's not doing 9 over to me. He was doing like 0.2 over.
He was S5 to me.
Wow. All right, very good. Anything else, Kerry?
No, that's it. Carry on, my friend.
All right, that's Kerry. He is in Baird's Mill, Kilo 5 Sierra. Who was the other party in there?
KI4, CJF.
Hey, you missed coming in early and you missed the breakfast. What else are you going to miss today?
I don't know. I missed it.
Very good. Are you doing okay?
I'm doing okay, man. Yeah, just had some stuff I had to do. I hate missing the breakfast, but I shall return next week, hopefully.
Well, Mike said if you can't make it, he would actually bring a whole dish over into your house.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, I'm going to hold to that.
There you go, Mike. You got more work to do. Well, very good, Rick. Anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you for what you do, Paul. Stay free, everybody.
Yep, that was Rick. He's in West Ashland City, Kilo November 4, Tango, Juliet, Foxtrot. Who else is east? Well, yeah, he thinks he's east, but he's actually west. Anybody else east? KM4. Well, say that one more time. I just went silent in my brain here. Oh, very good. I stand. All of a sudden, I didn't make the connection in my brain what HQE was. How you doing, Stan?
Well, doing pretty well, Paul. How about yourself?
I'm getting along. You know, retirement's tough, man. You got to really build up your game to be retired and do nothing all day.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you're not there yet, are you?
No, I don't want to be, but maybe in another year or two.
Yeah, well, you'll just find that your days are packed with things you never thought you'd be doing, just goofing off and doing things you want to do and some of the things you have to do.
This is true.
Well, very good. Anything else, Dan?
No, that's all, Paul. No GF, back in that KM4HQE.
Very good. I hear Stan's. I think that's a dachshund in the background. That was Stan, Kilo Mike 4, Hotel Quebec Echo. And he's in Lebanon, just a little bit north of downtown Lebanon, the Circle Square or whatever that is. Who else is east? Nobody else east before we move on to north? East one more time. Here's a squelch breaker in there. Anybody copying that? Up to the north then.
WB0 interval.
Very good. How are you doing there, Mark?
Doing well. Had a kind of a relaxing day, watched a little basketball.
You know, I didn't realize or had forgotten that women's basketball league uses a smaller ball.
Yeah, they do. And the rules are different, and the court's a little different, I think.
How the rules are different in what way?
You know, I don't remember. I remember noticing it the other day. Now, at my age, you can't remember too long.
Yeah, I forgot. What were you talking about?
Huh?
Yeah, no, I noticed. No, I just noticed. You know, it's just a different game. I mean, it's a different game because Women don't play at the same level as men, and they don't jump as high, and they don't rebound as well, and they don't. They do pretty good shooting, though. I mean, when they're good at it, it's just that they're not. It's not as exciting as the men's basketball.
Yeah. Well, I was a Caitlin Clark fan, and still am. But she is probably the best shot I think I've ever seen.
The only one that beat her, I think, was Pistol Pete, or and of course he didn't play it. He didn't play in the women's league, but there's only a few players can do what she was doing.
Yeah. Of course, Pistol Pete could have played in the women's league nowadays.
Well, that's probably true. I looked up, I don't remember where I saw it or why it came up, but because of her performance on court and her performance off court, not being very straightforward and honest and very gracious. I think she's getting like a couple $1 million a year aside from the $70,000 she gets for playing basketball in the league.
Oh yeah, her endorsements are through the roof, and they should be. When you have a straight white girl in a league that's mostly otherwise, that's unusual.
I guess. I mean, I saw some clips on there, but they're kind of disturbing because they really roughed her up on the court when they really shouldn't be.
Angel Reese is the one that beats up on her when she gets a chance. But it doesn't matter. Anyway, I don't have anything else for the net. Let me go back to sleep. WD0 in a row.
Yeah, I thought, it's funny because basketball was started as a non-contact sport. You knew that. I'm sure you did. Anyway, that's Mark. He goes back to the beginning of basketball when they just used peach baskets. That was Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0, November, Oscar. Who else is North?
84, Juliet, Danny, Station Camp.
Hello, Danny. You sounding pretty good?
Well, thank you, Paul. You sound good, too.
Anything good going on up there in Station Camp?
Just working on the house, trying to get finished.
Yeah. Don't remind me how I've done that. I actually had a house built back in 70-something, 74, I think it was. And it was a two-story house. Most of the house was two-story. One part of the house was one story. And to save money, I told the contractor I'd be painting it and doing all interior and exterior, and I'd do all the electrical work. I was sorry I did that, man, because I was still working 40 or 50 hours a week. Boy, did I bust my butt.
Oh, man. I wouldn't want to do that.
Well, and then I doubled down on having problems. It was my MO then on my way home from work, I'd pick up a couple of 16-ounce beers. By the time I got home to do the painting, I almost killed myself falling off the ladder.
I bet, yeah.
Anyway, I don't do that anymore. I haven't done that in decades, but anyway, it was just that's you forget how much work that really is, even just painting. I mean, when you got to paint for hours on end, it's work.
Oh, I know it. That's one of the things I hate the most is painting.
Well, I got used to it in the Navy because it's like they just need a boot camp and just teaches you how to paint, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything good for the net, Danny?
Oh, that's it. I'll catch you probably on 220. I'm in my room now, and all I got is this and the 220.
Oh, very good. Well, hope to see you there. In fact, I'm sure we will. Don't nod off or anything. You'll miss it. That was Danny, Kilo Delta 4 Golf, Oscar November. Who else is North?
KB9 or KK?
Hello, Frank. You doing any good?
Yeah, I'm okay. A little tired, but okay.
Yeah, man, I was tired today, too. I actually tried to take like a 15-minute nap, but didn't work out good.
No, I've been trying to do a bunch of different stuff.
Anything exciting?
Yeah, just been trying to do a little bit of the contesting that's still going, and then I had to mess with my 3D printer, and then had to do some things around the house. I'm trying to take breaks here, not real breaks, just switch to different things.
Yeah, I got you. Well, half the battle on doing any of those projects is gathering materials.
Yeah, and that's right now. That's actually the project I just started. I have to gather the materials. All right, I got to figure out what color, what paint, and all that.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, painting is, and not only is painting a lot of work, those 5-gallon pails are expensive.
Yeah, my dad was a painter, so it drives
me nuts because man, I can't do it. He would just like, what do you need tape for? He just cuts right in.
Yeah, when I did that job, I was in the house. Like I told, was mentioned earlier. The guy who lived across the street from me was well into his 70s, but he had worked oddly in the same area I grew up in Buffalo, New York. He worked in the industrial plants there for the Painters Union, and he told me, and he was bragging up and down, well, so to speak. He was just telling me how good he was, and I'm confident he was. He went through the German guild system of painting, learning to paint, which was a 4 or 5 year process. And he said one of the tests they had to do, they had to take a piece of board and paint it to make it look like it was, nobody could distinguish it from marble.
Huh, okay. Well, that's pretty crazy. Wow. Yeah, my dad started at 15 as an apprentice, and then, we did that for a living all of his life, really. And then when we came here when I was a kid, he, went to work at a plant, but he was still painting, and he ended up at a hospital painting and everything. So, and he got a little bit towards the end there, he got artistic. They asked him to paint a mural, and he's like, okay, well, I'm not really an artist, but I think I can do it. He ended up doing it with a globe and a big peace thing, and I was like, wow.
Well, obviously he had it in him, didn't he?
Yeah, and then his boss was like, hey, can you paint the gas tank on my motorcycle? And he's like, what? He goes, I paint with a brush. He's like, go ahead, paint it with a brush. I'll have it clear coated.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he did a good job of it.
Yeah, we had no idea. He didn't really either. He's like, okay. Yeah, so it was kind of cool.
Well, I know that when we did painting, when I worked at the hospital, we used a really good, high-quality industrial enamel, and boy, did that run! It ended up almost look like a paint job on a car.
Yeah, that's what he did. He used to. That's what he did at the plant. He actually worked for Amphenol for a long time before they moved to Mexico and wherever they're at now. And when they sold, I actually got one of their work tables, and I remember my dad got me some of that industrial paint, and it's pretty cool. Even though you put it on with a roller when it dries, you're like, wow, this doesn't look like I'd used a roller.
No, it kind of smooths right out. I'm not sure how they all do that, but it's probably because it's got potent chemicals in it.
It smells real funny, but it all does.
Yeah. Anything else for the net, Frank?
Negative. Thanks for doing it. One of these days I got to get on the digital one. I do have D-Star. I just keep forgetting about it.
Oh man, you got to jump in it. We need the D-Star check-ins. We only had maybe 3 today.
I know. I heard it. I was like, man. Every time you say that, I was like, I missed it again. I keep missing it. I'm gonna have to set up a reminder, even though you send everything out. So it's not your fault. It's not that you're not trying. But anyway, I'll turn it back over to Keith. None RKK.
Yeah, we need a system that actually it reaches through your PC screen and turns the radio on at the time.
They probably have an app for that.
Well, I tell you, with AI, we can probably make it all happen. Unfortunately, it'll make me work. Anyway, that was Frank. Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo, Kilo, and he's in northwest Mount Juliet. Who else is north? Hello, Jeff. Did you figure out that noise issue?
No, not sure on that. We'll have to check again later at some point here, see what I can figure out with DMR. But if I'm not noisy here, it's the same radio on analog. It's not that great of an antenna, and I'm on the low power setting. Over.
Yeah, I think you heard me, but it sounded actually like you had a baseball card in the spokes of a bicycle. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, maybe just something with this radio isn't super great for DMR Simplex. But yeah, we'll try it out again here in the future. Just KCA 990. Thank you.
Well, I don't know if you heard me, but at the beginning of when you checked in, it was clear, and at the end, when you said good night, okay, we'll talk about it later, it was clear. So it's an intermittent thing, whatever it is.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about it here. I had the USB programming cable connected to the computer at one point when I was changing some settings, so maybe that was picking up some extra noise. We'll try it again next week. KCA 990.
Yep, just let me know. I'm pretty open on timing, mostly. Anyway, that was Jeff in Northwest Wilson. Kilo Charlie 8 November Oscar. Who else is north?
Kilo November 4 Echo Romeo India, Eric in Goodlettsville.
Hey, Eric, anything good since breakfast?
Not too much. I got a GMRS radio in the truck, and I'm waiting for a little bit better antenna. Probably come next week, and a programming cable for my FCM 500 to get that set up, and that's probably about it. Good seeing everybody at breakfast this morning.
Yeah, it's only money, all that's radios and connectors and all that stuff. It's only money.
Yeah, copy that. That's for sure. All the little stuff adds up. It doesn't come with this cable. It doesn't come with that cable. All that good stuff.
Yeah, now I think, I think they're going to move, forward. Maybe you start allowing Bluetooth. I don't know if they're going to all do that or not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just cool when you can connect it up to the computer, like the program that VTech, you get it all set up, and then, boom, you get a second one. You just plug the cable in and hit download, and you're set to go.
Yeah, no, it makes it very good. I know I've been using the Yaesu software for several years now, and it's so easy to program a radio.
Yeah, copy that. That's what I'm waiting for. My cable should have showed up by 7, and it hasn't showed up yet, but it'll probably come today or tomorrow, and then I'll get those programmed as well.
You reminded me, I saw a neat meme earlier today, and it was a guy, as a guy sitting in the passenger seat of a car, and his wife was getting into the car on the driver's side, and she looked all giddy and happy. She goes, "Oh man," she goes, "that guy," they're both like 45 maybe, they weren't young people, about 45, nice looking woman, and she says, "Man, that was awesome. That guy just tried to get my phone number." She's smiling, beaming, happy about somebody thinking she's available, and he goes, Tell him how much you spend on Amazon, and then ask him if he needs your number.
Yeah, copy that. That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I know how that goes. I get packages all the time, but not usually for me. But anyway, that's about all I got. Back to you. Appreciate it, Paul.
All right, that was Eric. He's in Goodlettsville. Yeah, that's right. Kilo November 4, Echo Romeo India, big signal. He's going to have to be like a backup net control or something. He's got such a good signal. Who else is north?
KD4VW.
Hello, Carlin. You sound pretty good tonight.
Man, just in there listening to the net. It was a good old time, I reckon.
Don't you? Shouldn't we hear you on one of those digital nets?
You didn't hear me a while ago?
It was on C4 FM.
Yeah.
No, I missed part of the net. I mean, as far as listening, I was doing something else, so I missed a couple of people who checked in, so I didn't hear you. But you don't have the DMR or D-Star?
No. I'm not interested in them. I went with a Fusion because all you had to do is take it out of a box, turn it on. I don't care about sitting for hours and hours and writing code plugs and all that other stuff. If that's what you're into, it's okay, but I'm just not into that.
Oh, I hear you. Now, we went through that when we did that. We started the DMR thing a couple of years ago. Ah, man, everybody's pulling their hair out and trying to figure out how to do it. It was really quite frustrating. I was going to say it's funny, but it wasn't really funny. So I said, well, okay, we got to get our heads together, and there was only one way to do that. So I started a Zoom meeting, invited everybody to it, a couple of days in advance. I just thought there'd be 3 or 4 or 5 of us. There was 17 people who showed up for that Zoom meeting.
Every one of them were scratching their heads too, wasn't they?
Oh, yeah. Well, no, scratching, one hand scratching their heads, and while the other ones are scratching their butts.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I don't know. I just, like I said, I just wanted that. That C4 stuff came from Motorola anyway. A lot of people don't remember when Motorola bought Yazoo out. It was during that time that they were still together before they spun off Yazoo Amateur. That's when the C4 FM come up. So, I guess some kind of an early type of digital protocol that Motorola decided they wasn't going to use anymore, and I thought, here, take this, use this on your radios, and they just went, oh yeah. I don't know, but they all there's two. Well, there's the D-Star and the Fusion, then the DMR, and of course Kenwood went with the Fusion.
I'm kind of would be nice if they would some but one of the manufacturers would come up with a all mode digital, format. But I don't see that happening. I've watched the Yancey things up on YouTube, and that Kurt guy has been asked several times if they were going to ever incorporate DMR or D-Star or something like that, and they said, "Oh no," and is their proprietary digital mode, so they're not going to allow that, and that's what's going on with anything. The Japanese Radio League, JARL, they own D-Star, and they're having to pay JARL, money. Kenwood is and ICOM to use that because that's who developed this D-Star. And I imagine Yazoo's going like, well, we've got our own proprietary digital system, and we're not going to pay nobody for something else. Well, we've got our own. So you got to think about it that way. They're thinking monetarily on that. So I don't know. Anyway, I guess you sounding all right, doing okay.
Yeah, you're sounding good too. You got a good signal tonight. Little bit of hash in the background, but no big deal. It's really a good night for 2 meters. All right, anything else for the net, Carlin?
Reckon not. Just turn it back over to you. Let's get some more check-ins there, and I'll catch you up on are you going to, where are you going to after here? Sideband 2 meter or UHL? I think you're on the sideband 2 meter, ain't you?
Yes, 144, 240 upper sideband. And then over to 6 meters on 50.135.
Okay, well, I was kind of curious there. So anyway, toodaloo for now. I'll catch you on the over on the sideband and then up on the hidden frequency. Anyway, with that said, K4V, that's turning it back over to net control.
Very good. That's Carlin, Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey in Angeltown, Bethpage vicinity. Who else is north? Did we run out of north? Or we're going to west?
KO4 OTV.
KO4 OTV, that would be Joel in west of Ashland City, actually, not Joelton. Are you hearing everybody good tonight?
Yeah, for the most part. I was on 5 watts. I was amazed you could hear me. I guess you had a rough copy on Larry again on 2 meter, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't great. I mean, it was off and on, but I could hear he was in there.
Yeah, I can never hear him. He's a good distance from me, though. Is he in Rockville, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, that explains it. I think that's close to 70 miles from me.
Oh, really? Is that far?
Yeah, I'm pretty good ways from there. I don't know. The crow flies, it may be 50-something, but yeah, when I go down to Murfreesboro, it's like 60 miles, and I take the shortest way I can find.
So what you're saying is sometimes if you're mobile, your signal actually follows the road.
I tell you, it's amazing how well the little mobile rig I have in my little workbench works. It's just a little Kenwood 5.5 watt, 2 meter only, but I put my truck antenna on a mag mount, NMO mount in the middle of it. And I tell you, man, I work that thing all over the place. But, if it wasn't for repeaters, I don't think I'd do worth a crap with it, but it does well.
Yeah, no, it's amazing what you can do. Which antenna do you use?
It's a Diamond NR770. It's close to 40 inches, I think.
What you need in 2 meters is that diamond, and I forget the number right offhand, but it's 96 inches tall.
Oh, yeah, see, so the 40 inches is plenty because sometimes I have to pull in the parking garages and I forget that it's there, and as soon as I pull in, it reminds me every time.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm familiar with the problem. I busted an antenna twice going into parking garages.
Oh, yeah, I had to go to the doctor last Friday up there at Midtown, and when I pulled in there, right away it happened. And luckily it is on a mag mount, so it'll just fall over, once it hits hard enough. It won't, it'd be different if it were, permanently mounted. That would have probably been a bad deal, but I was glad it was on a mag mount, let me tell you.
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah, I know. That was, in fact, that was what I learned. That it was one of those quad band antennas, for that one Yaesu radio, I think it was, and the 2 meters, 70 centimeter, 6 and 10, and I still have the antenna, but I'd call MFJ and they just send me the top piece again. Okay, here's whatever it was, $15.
I'm sure that happened a lot. You said it was 90 inches?
No, the 90-inch one was it's a whip. It's a 90-inch 2-meter whip only. That one was, I'm saying it was maybe 48 inches, maybe.
Even those, I mean, it doesn't sound like it's really big compared to some of those whips, but when you have it directly on the top center of the vehicle, it's pretty high up there.
Oh yeah, for a van it is certainly, or on the top of a car. I never mounted one right on top of the car. I may have mounted a mag mount on top of the car, but I wouldn't put one of those big tall ones. Because as it is, with that 96-inch one, man, you're trimming trees.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I don't even know if I could drive down my road with that. I live out here in the woods, which they keep it pretty clear on both sides, but as soon as I'd go down the game reserve, it'd be a little different. But yeah, that's yeah, you're stretching on out there with that, because mine, it's right in the middle of the top of the van, and right at 40 inches, it's pushing it a lot of days.
Oh, I'm sure. We got anything else for the net, Joel?
No, that's it for me. I'll see you on the next one. KO4OTV, back to net.
Yeah, your signal's really good tonight. That was KO4OTV. He's west of Ashland City. That's Joel. Who else is west?
KG4ILV.
I already started to write it down, Mr. Northeast Nashville. How's that?
Mayor of Donaldson.
Mayor. Yeah. I'm king of Mount Juliet. How's that?
Boy, I tell you, we got a doozy of a mayor in Nashville, though.
I tell you what, though, it's so funny to me how major cities always seem to have infected with craziness mayors. I mean, look at Boston, look at Chicago, look at Tampa's the same, Nashville. I don't know so many of the cities, but it just amazes me. Or Los Angeles, for that matter.
Well, that's true. It's heavy collections of people like that tend to vote blue, I guess. But anyway, you're talking about women's basketball. I'm so old. I remember when women played half court.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they played half court basketball in high school.
Oh, I don't know if I ever watched it. I don't recall. They may have, and I just didn't remember it. But, they played it. That's funny. Well, then again, sports in general has come a long way as far as fitness and training. Because even men's, it's changed dramatically in basketball and football, all the sports for that matter.
Oh, absolutely. But, it's going to keep changing.
Yeah, wait till AI, they started injecting it into our brains.
Well, thanks for doing that, Paul. I'll let somebody else check in. KG4ILV.
That somebody else is going to be Greg in Antioch. Cud, you out there? By the way, that was Jack. Kilo Golf 4. Indy Lima Victor, and he's in northeast Nashville, kind of. Who else is out there west?
KC4TNQ.
Were you waiting for somebody else to check in there, were you, Charles?
Yeah, I was waiting for the close ones so I could get in next.
Now you sound great.
Oh yeah, between me and you, it's no problem. It's all the other ones I can't hear.
Yeah, no, you're S8 to me easily with a good audio.
Yeah, so that's about it. Sorry I missed the breakfast this morning. I had to go make a little money this morning.
Well, yeah, I understand. That work in family, as you know, comes first.
Yeah, then when I got done with doing the work, I went and bought groceries.
Oh, yeah, very good. Yeah, I don't mind buying groceries, really. I did, funny you mention that. I went into the store after going to the breakfast, and I picked up just a few odds and ends, and I knew we needed toilet paper. One of those big, the big, I don't know how many rolls are in it, 16, 20. Because I don't like going to the store. So I put it in the cart, ran everything through the thing, went through, and of course at Walmart they checked the receipt. It's a woman I've seen 100 times in there. I handed her the thing, and she's, oh, thanks for just bring the receipt right over to her. She goes, no, I'm not finding that toilet paper. And I went, oh, I forgot to scan it.
Yeah, it's happened to me before at Kroger's, and I just turned around and got all my other stuff loaded, went right back in, and told them I forgot to pay for this. Let me pay for it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did today. It's a little embarrassing, really, because, you know, I'd hate to be kicked out of Walmart for trying to steal toilet paper.
I'm surprised they was even checking receipts at Walmart.
They almost always have a receipt checker in Walmart. Almost always.
I was kind of surprised, but anyway, I went over in West Central. I think they kind of quit doing that, unless you got something kind of big, you know, like a TV or something stuck in your buggy.
Well, usually what they do is, and it's a funny game they play, and they're not playing a game. It's funny how they do it, though. I could have 2 or 3 bags, you know, the regular plastic bags, full of just stuff. Just stuff. Doesn't matter what's in it, you know, just full. And sitting up in the seat of the basket. And I'll have one big item, or I'll have a couple of 12 packs of Coke for my wife, and they'll only look at the Coke to make sure I've got it on the receipt. They don't have any idea what's in the bag, so it's kind of counterproductive, I think.
Yeah, I heard that, of course, the one over here in West Central, they kind of starting to go away from the self-checkouts, and, you know, I've been through the whole thing. I used to work there, so I went through a time where they didn't have any self-checkouts, and then gradually they started going to self-checkouts, and then they tried to go to all self-checkouts, which, of course, I knew was a big mistake, especially in West Nashville.
Oh, wow. I guess there are some areas. You know, I saw I don't remember exactly what it was one of those polls they took of people, shoppers, in self-checkout, about asking them about self-checkout. They said, if you thought you would not get caught, would you skip doing some of the expensive items on checkout? And if, I don't remember what the numbers were, but more than a couple percentage points said, yeah, they'd do it.
Yeah, they was all kind of gimmicks that some people would come up with, you know, putting different barcodes on the stuff. It was just ridiculous. And of course, I knew it was a big mistake, but you can't tell corporate anything.
Oh, you can tell them lots of things, but they're just going to do what they want anyway. You know that.
Oh, they think they're going to make more sales that way, but it never did cover up the shrink.
No, you're right. I don't. Yeah, what are they? They call it the shrink. There's another word they use. I can't think what they call it. But yeah, I think the shrink is the one I heard the most. Anyway, anything good for the net there, Charles?
Oh, that's it. Thanks for getting me in, Paul. Y'all have a good evening. I'm on call tonight. KC4TNQ.
All right, you got to get on 223, man. Anyway, that's Kilo Charlie 4 Tango November Quebec. Charles in West Nashville. Who else is west?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor XBT.
All right, I had 2 in there, but Greg 1. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing well. I don't have anything. I'll let you get the next one. I'll catch you in the next thing.
Yeah. They're the ones who have almost no shrink. Do you think there's any shrink at Amazon since you worked over there for a while?
No, Beth.
You say none at all, really?
I think they're pretty good at getting that. I'm not saying there's none, but they got people checking as you come and go.
Yeah, nobody's walking out with a 65-inch flat screen.
Nah, they got a whole team checking people out as they leave.
Yeah, I did light years ago. It was a big shrimp processor in Tampa, and I would have never thought about it, but the manager told me they have one of the most expensive security systems in any building just because of the cost of shrimp.
Can you just eat it? I said eat it right on the side.
I'd eat it as it went through the line.
Yeah, I mean, the shrinkage is going to be my belly.
Anyway, anything else, Greg?
No, Katie, for
Yep, Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. I do the same thing in a pizza factory. Anybody else west? Hey, how you doing, Don?
Oh, just hanging out like a hair and a biscuit there, Paul. It's been a rough couple of months. I'm still looking for a job and spent early morning after midnight in the ER. So yeah, it's been a great day.
Oh, wow. I hope it's nothing serious.
I couldn't find anything wrong with me. I get a stomach pain, so I'm going to have to go to a GI specialist. But they poked and prodded me and gave me a couple medicines anyhow.
Well, I'll give you my symptoms. I had that too some years ago. And man, I had what was initially diagnosed as stomach, like cramps or seizures. I forget what the term they used, but it was like, I mean, it was painful. I mean, it bent me over. I mean, I could barely walk. It hurt so much. And then I ended up having a gallbladder attack. And it took them a while to figure that out. But that man, that gallbladder tax was even worse.
Yeah, I've been down this road. I've been poked and prodded. I had similar issues like a year and a half, 2 years ago, and that lasted a long time. And I got piped and tubed in every orifice. They scanned me and ultrasounded me and did everything. They couldn't find a damn thing wrong. So eventually it went away on its own. And this time it's a little different, but yeah, it's been fun. It's been a fun couple months. So yeah, I'm still just trying to find a job and get my butt back to work so I get some money coming in.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you're having to look for a job, and it would seem to be a little tight these days.
Yeah, well, I knew it was coming. I mean, I worked at like one of the largest NGOs in the country, and I knew it was coming. I wasn't down with the cause, but man, that money was good, and the feds cut like 45% of the budget. So they furloughed a lot of people, and I was a new guy, and I was first on the list. So they may call me back, but I was realistic about it. That money is never coming back, y'all, and I'm out. So I've been looking at that. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I find that a little weird myself because I get the impression over the years, and this year it kind of solidified it in my brain that a lot of that money that the government spends it's as if they're just looking for ways to spend it on the people they like, or the groups they like that agree with them.
That's the story as old as time, my friend. That's how it works. But yeah, I felt like a spy really working there. But I still am working there. Yeah, I didn't see any blatant illegal stuff, but I saw some shenanigans and I was a little uncomfortable. And if you want to see DEI, go work at an NGO. It's nothing but DEI nonsense.
Oh, I believe it, and it's unfortunate, really, that we got to the point where people didn't care about competency and efficiency. All they cared about was meeting a certain requirement.
Yeah. I mean, the people out in the field, they're doing good work. I mean, outside the country, I was all down with that mission, to help the people in war zone stuff. The Hungary and Africa, that was cool. But when they started shipping people into this country, I'm like, I am not down with this at all.
Oh boy, yeah, I know it's got to crazy. Well, for what it's worth, it's going to change the economy to a lot. I don't know how much, but when we're not bringing in that, there was 4 years of 12 or 14 million people crossed the border, and now there's only going to be, for the same 4-year period, maybe there's going to be 1/20th of that, if that. So there's going to be a lot of jobs that need filling by the people who are legal in this country.
Oh yeah, it's coming. I mean, I'm a little too old to be swinging a hammer at construction, but if I was a young buck, I'd be going and getting my electricians and my construction training right away, because they're going to be needing a lot of help.
Well, and of course the price will go up too.
Yeah, that's a win-win, because wages will go up, right? So yeah, it'll wash out.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think it'll actually be good because it really does water down the because I think I told you after the tornado whipped through our neighborhood in 2020, and I took the dog for walks, and as they were rebuilding new houses in all the 25 that got blown up, I would say 100% of the contractors, aside from electrical and HVAC, the roofers, the framers, the drywall, the painters, the tilers, the grounds work, all were not, people from, I don't know how to describe. They were from other countries. They were from south of the border.
Oh yeah, I had a guy out here who was like subcontracted from my deck contractor, and he was just doing a demo, and it was a Mexican dude with his son, who was probably about 15, his wife, and his little girl, and they went to town on that deck. I know they were not legal.
Yeah, no, and I again, I don't. It's just like they say, well, they need to be here because they're trying to make a living. I go, yeah, we're trying to make a living too.
Yeah, it's going to be a weird little bit, but really what the deal is going to be is we're going to devalue our currency a little bit, and we're going to add tariffs, right? So between you do those two things, and the companies are already moving their production back to the United States, right? They're already doing it. So as they do that, there's more jobs created and higher wages to boot. So I think it's a win-win, and it'll work out. And all the people complain about tariffs. All these other countries have to do is drop their tariffs to zero and say, hey, Mr. Trump, we dropped our tariffs to zero. And Trump would probably say, okay, we'll do the same. He loves to make those deals.
Yeah, I think he does too. I hope it works out well. I really do, and I'm pretty sure him and his advisors got things well in hand. But yeah, you're right. It's the other countries, like for instance today, I think it was yesterday or today, the new leader in Canada said something about he was a little upset about everything that was going on, and he said, well, we always worked real well militarily, and I'm like thinking, what, with your 8 trucks and 4 ships?
Yeah, right. I know. It's crazy. They're delusional. The Canada, the EU, all of NATO, they're delusional. But hey, have at it. Let them blow themselves up. They've already lost Europe to the Muslims anyhow, so it's over. That whole party's over. I don't know who's going to nuke who. It's either going to Russia nuke Europe, or Europe, once the Muslims takes over, going to nuke everybody. But the Muslims are going to take over the entire EU, including Britain and Ireland.
Yeah, but the beauty of that is in England, the UK, since they changed the laws as of I think the first of this next month, you can't put they're holding anybody who has a social media site responsible for anything that's said on their site. So a whole bunch of them are just shutting down in England.
Yeah, and on Tuesday, white people have different sentencing guidelines than Muslims and Indians.
You make me laugh. See, DEI and sentencing, huh?
That's a true story, man. Yeah, somebody was telling me that England is being conquered. I said, no. Change that being to has been conquered.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. They can't say certain things, even if they don't say them. Even if they're thinking them. Anyway, anything else, Don? I gotta move on.
Yeah, brother. Sorry to keep you hanging up there. Have a good one, man. All the best. N4DJG. Back to that.
Yeah, let's hope it all goes well with your job and whatever you got going on with that abdominal issue. Man, I know how that is. That was November 4 Delta Juliet Tango, and that's Don in Bon Aqua. Anybody else for number 25 tonight from any place, anywhere? Nobody? Well, then we'll move on to our dilly-dalliers, spuddlers, landlubbers, sandbaggers, lollygaggers, lurkers, skulkers, slackers, lackeys, toadies, lackards, repeater kerchunkers, shape-shifting lizard people, moon landing deniers, moon occupied by alien believers, the deniers of moon occupied by aliens, and also that there's camps on the backside of the moon that other country have already set up. The flat earthers, and of course the flat earth deniers, flat earth scanner listeners, SDR donglers, preppers, and of course last but not least, the end time survivalists. Anybody else?
No, Paul, but that little speech you did sound like I was listening to Click and Clack the Tablet Brothers on NPR.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a good rundown, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
Yeah. Anyway, I was hoping to get Scott in there and K1 SPD, but he's not there. He always comes in last. All righty. We had Monstrous 24 tonight, decent number. We're going to move right over to 144, 240, unless I hear a complaint. All righty, that's where we're going. I'll meet you over to 144, 240, K4PEW. This is K4PEW, Net Control, Mount Juliet. Net, we're looking for people from the south first.
K4TYJ, checking in.
Very good. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet. I got that right, didn't I?
Yes, sir. KE4 Tango Yankee Juliet.
Yeah, very good. Just didn't look right when I scribbled it down there. That was Jim in Woodbury. Who else is south? South or east?
KM4 Lauer.
Very good. We got Michael in Mount Juliet here. Real hard for me to hear him. Who else is east?
Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu.
Very good. You sound real fine there, Earl. That's Earl. Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu in Noreen. Who else is east?
KK5S.
Big signal from Carrie in Baird's Mill. That's Kilo 5 Sierra. Who else is east? East or north?
WB0 NO.
Whiskey Bravo 0 NOO. Of course, that's Mark in by the beach in on the river, the lake, whatever we're calling it, the muddy water. What else is? Who else is north?
KE4TWI.
You sound real good there, Wes. That's KE4TWI. You still mobile?
Yeah, I'm sitting here in the truck. I've got S0 on you, but I got a good audio.
Oh, awesome. Very good. Anyway, that's Wes up there in Possum Town, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey, India. Who else? In the truck, by the way. Who else?
Kilo Bravo 9 Radio Kilo.
Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo. It's Frank here in northwest Mount Juliet. Good big signal. Who else is wherever I was? North. A little low signal, but I got a full copy on you there, Carlin. Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey. Who else is north? Anybody else north or west?
KG4 ILV.
Very good. We got Jack somewhere in the Nashville metro area. Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor. Anybody else west?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo.
Had 2 in there, but Greg 1. Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Nice signal. Who was the other person?
And for DJT, and I can't wait to get my amp going.
Yeah, oh, I'm telling you, you don't need an amp on that signal. You're one of the biggest noises, not noises, but biggest signals on the band on the upper sideband. Yeah, you have to have a job to pay for that electricity on the amp, don't you?
Yeah, something like that, and get the hardware to need to finish my antennas. So yeah, that's going to be a little bit.
I guess. All right, that was November 4 Delta Juliet Tango, and that's Don in Bon Aqua. Anybody else west? Anybody, any place, anywhere, please come now. All right, we wrapped it up with 12. We're moving right over to 50.135, unless I hear somebody biatch. Please, anybody else? All right, that's where we are, 50.135. We'll see you there. Very good. It's 50.135. My name is Paul, K4PEW, looking for check-ins from the south. Do I hear somebody checking in? I swear, anybody can hear that signal? Because I do hear a signal way off in the distance.
I don't hear anything.
All right, that's just, like I said, maybe the voices in my head. All right, anybody from the south or east?
KM4YRF.
All right, very good. Michael in there, KM4YRF here in Mount Juliet. Who else east? Anybody else east? Wow, slim pickings on east. Who else is north? All right, we got Frank in here in northwest Mount Juliet. Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo. Who else? Who else north, I should say? All right, over to the west. Boy, your signal drop out on that compared to the 2 meters sideband there, Don. Okay, very good. I knew there was something amiss at this because you cut it by about 60%. Very good. That was November 4 Delta Juliet Tango in Bon Aqua. That's Don. Who else is? He's on a horizontal. That's why if you can't hear him well. Who else is west?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo.
Very good. Nice signal from Greg. Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo in Antioch. Anybody else west? Check. Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor with a welfare antenna. No, I can't hear him very well. I can't hear you though, Jack. just so low all the time on 6 meters. It's Kilo Golf for India Lima Victor. Who else is West? Very good. Good audio there. Kilo Oscar 4 Oscar Tango Victor. Who else? West? Oh, by the way, that was Joel up in West Ashland City. Nobody else? Hey, very good. We got Eric, Kilo November 4 Echo Romeo India in there from Goodlettsville. Anybody else? Well, okay. I think we had a real good night on here. We don't normally get that many, but it was a good night on all the bands. One last chance on 50.135. Please come now. All righty. We're going to close out this portion of the net so we can talk privately on our secret frequency on 223.415. So appreciate everybody being there. I think we had we actually had 3, 4, 5, 6 nets so far, so just tonight. So that's our cavalcade of nets. You guys have a good night, and we'll talk to you on 223.415 if you've got it. Yeah, got it. If you got them, smoke them, as they say. K4PEW.